everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Nurse Akusia, and I know it's been a very long time. Yeah, it's I've been quite tight. I've been a little busy. And if you can see that I started my TikTok also, you can follow me on TikTok at Nurse Akusia. And so today I want us to talk about my transition to the United States system of being a nurse. Let's get started. When we talk about your transition from Ghana to the United States as a nurse, it's a little hard. It's a little hard, but it's also funny as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a lot of people to talk to about the entire transition. However, I spoke to a few friends, and then they also agreed on how it feels when you're transitioning. What I will say to encourage you is that don't freak out about anything, even though I was there for some time. Take your time and learn how things are done in the United States. What I noticed is, like, as in nursing, procedures and everything that we do in nursing is the same here in the United States. However, there are other things that you will realize that they are a little different. Things like blood product administration and reading of EKGs and ECGs are basically done by doctors back in Ghana, but when you move to the United States, all those things are done by the nurse. And then also when you're assessing a patient, listening to breath sounds and abdominal sounds and all that, doing DTRs and neuro checks and everything is done by the nurse. While in Ghana, all these things are done by the doctors. So it's a lot to learn. However, you will get there. We've been able to do it, and gladly we had some, well, I will say I had some amazing preceptors, which made it quite easier for me to transition into the United States system. One thing, the funny thing is, some things we don't talk about. However, when it comes to learning of the advanced system, like the pump, as in the IV pumps, the Alaris pump, sometimes I will go to the equipment room, get the pump, sit right next to it, turn it on, and then try to figure out how it works. Also, YouTube was a very good resource for me. You can watch YouTube, and you're going to get a lot of information there. I also have a video. I have the link up there that shows you how to use the Alaris pump. Also, one mistake that I did before I started working as a registered nurse in the United States, like after I passed my NCLEX and then I got a job, I started freaking out. You know why? There is this show that they have on TV. They show it on NBC or something, and it's called Nurses. And so I watched this show, and I thought, ooh, this is how nurses are in the hospitals. This is how they work and everything. Oh, that's gonna be like hard, because in nurses, they started out as new nurses, and then they were just asking them, do this, do that, and they don't care if you know or you don't know. It's not like that. So just don't go watch shows like I did and then start freaking out and start thinking that, oh my God, you're not going to be able to do anything. It's a process. However, with time, you're going to be able to catch up. And you're going to freak out a little bit, because when you see a lot of the advanced things that they use over here, it's going to freak you out a little bit. It got to a time that I started asking that if these the charting system, I started the charting system with Cerna, and so I started asking, and I had amazing colleagues. They were like, oh, don't freak out, you're gonna get it. And I saw it as like quite a lot, but gradually I got really good with it, and to the extent that people actually noticed that I finished my chart quite early, and I thought maybe I was missing something, but I got my chart audited, and the feedback that I had was really great, which means that I was documenting things as it should be done. And so yeah, it didn't take me too much time to be able to use the charting system. And then I switched. Now the charting system that I use is Epic. But then Epic is really, really simple and it's easy. It's like a tap, 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 and then you're done. So comparing Cerner to Epic, it was quite easy to go into Epic. However, to miss something in Epic, it's easy to miss something because in Cerner a lot of things pop up and then remind you, but in Epic it's just not like that. And Epic, they have different types of Epic, so but they're all basically the same. Like they all look the same. It depends on your hospital how they actually decided to use the Epic system. So I am here to tell you that the transition is a little hard, but then don't freak out and bear in mind that you're not the only one. You're not the only one. What helped me a lot is YouTube. So utilize YouTube. I will search for videos, and if I'm able to make one myself, I will make those videos and send them out here so you will be able to have some resources to help you. I had to watch YouTube for a lot of things that we all know we don't do in Ghana. However, they do it here. And studying the theory aspects is not the only thing that is needed. You also have to see. I'm a visual person, so I like to watch videos and then to see, and that's where it sticks into my mind. And so, yeah, this video, I just want to remind you that no matter what, you're gonna freak out a little bit, but don't be like me. Don't go watching TV shows and then you get stressed over that and then thinking you're not going to be able to do things. I have worked in med surg. I went to labor and delivery, and then I am back in med surg. And the reason why I left labor and delivery, I'm gonna make a different video for that. However, when I went to labor and delivery as well, I've been a midwife back in Ghana for almost 10 years. And the system that I saw that they use in labor and delivery, I really, really loved it. I was able to do a whole lot of things that I have a doctor friend in Ghana who is an obstetrician, and he was amazed at the things that nurses actually do here. I was able to assist in amnio infusion, and this doctor was like, so nurses do that there? And I was like, yeah. And he was amazed. He was like, oh wow. And the electronic fetal monitoring in Ghana, we don't use that. We use the Doppler or the fetoscope. But here we actually set the CTG on a person. When they come, you set the CTG, and you take a class before that. You're able to they train you on how to read fetal monitoring. They teach you how to read it with the contractions and everything. So the doctors are always around, especially in labor and delivery. So you're always having somebody who is there to assist you in case of emergencies. In labor and delivery, emergencies are just like that. Like it just happens. And one thing about labor and delivery, even though I've been a midwife for a very long time, the women's services here, especially labor and delivery, is very, very different. Very, very different. The nurse, they don't have midwives here, is the nurse that does everything, the whole monitoring, and then the doctor comes in to deliver the baby. And so you'll be doing the vaginal exam, and then you're going to monitor the laboring woman. You're going to assist when the patient wants an epidural. You're supposed to take vital signs at certain times and everything. And yeah, I'm going to talk about labor and delivery into details in a different video. However, I just wanted to let you know that the systems that they use here is very, very different. And also venipuncture, like back in Ghana, you do a blind stick, like the actual blind stick. But here they have resources. They do have the vein finder, which uses infrared to find the patient's vein, which can really assist you, especially patients whose veins are not visible. And one thing that actually helps us when we come here is we've been doing it without those things. So when we come here, it's quite easier for us to be able to, pick up the whole venipuncture thing. And then also they also have the ultrasound guided IV, which I actually trained in, but I wasn't able to complete the course. But I'm willing to go back and then finish it up, because when you're done with the training, you're supposed to practice on a number of patients before you become the rapid IV, nurse. Another thing is also the things that I saw that are different. It's the responsibilities of nurses. the advanced system, as in the charting system, and then the vital signs machine is just easy to figure it out. When you try figuring it out the first time, it's so easy for you to figure it out. The blood glucose machine, they're going to train you during orientation. They have the SCD machines. All you have to do is just hit the on button, and then it starts, working on its own. The IV pump machine, where I have a video on, which the LRS pump, you can actually watch to, help yourself if you need to. And then they have the PCA pump. The PCA pump is, I started using the PCA pump when I went to labor and delivery. Mostly is used in critical care, and labor and delivery is actually considered critical care because, yeah, you're always running. And also how to read the ECG strip. That also, you will be trained on that. However, if you need assistance, I made a video on how you can simplify it. The simple ones, the most common ones that you're going to see. I made a video on it which can assist you. However, they're going to train you and then make sure that you are able to read an ECG strip. Another thing also is the fact that when you're assigned patients, it's yours only. So yeah, the responsibility is high. However, as I said, I will not be able to talk about a lot of things. However, we all know how our transition was, and we don't talk about it. Some of them, so I can't really talk about it. However, we all know, and sometimes my friends and I, we laugh over it. But then at the end of the day, we were able to survive it, and we're actually, pushing. And so don't feel left out. Don't feel like you don't know anything. Don't feel discouraged or anything. Just if you need assistance, just reach out, and also use the resources that I used, and also ask questions. There's some questions that you don't ask because it's gonna make you look like you know nothing. And I'll also make a video about the psychological aspect of being an orientee here in the United States. Some things that you have to overlook, and some things you have to speak up. However, if you're speaking up, just make sure that you're just paying attention to your choice of words, because this English is the primary language here in the United States, and it is our second language. So some words that you may use may sound okay to you, but then it can be misread by a lot of people. So yeah, it's hard. You will have to speak up, and you will have to be confident. You cannot survive the nursing here in the United States if you are timid. So try as much as possible to switch up and be the confident person that you are, and you're going to survive. We survived. You will also survive. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, kindly hit the subscribe button. And also, if you haven't followed me on TikTok or Instagram, it's at Nurse Akosia, and on Facebook is also at Nurse Akosia. So yeah, if you have any questions, just put them down below, and I will try as much as possible to respond to your comments. Yeah, it's been a while, but I'm here, and I told you I'll be here, and I'm here. All right. So, bye.